morning. It is a beautiful day out today, and what a perfect day to tell you about my educational philosophy. So, when I chose to study education, I considered the kind of teacher that I want to be and the values I want to reflect for my students. And when considering the educational philosophies, I looked back on this course, and what spoke to me were students being treated like people and given a safe and supportive space where they are free to build their own ideas, met with enthusiasm and care, like that guy on his boat right now. I also consider diversity, and in terms of ability, ethnicity, and circumstances, I wanted to be sure that all my future students get the education they deserve. Today, me and my associates will tell you about our educational philosophy, which has been heavily inspired by philosophers in this course, and the idea of social justice and social transformation. Blythe? Oh, hi! Sorry, is it my turn? Blythe from another room. How are ya? So I want to tell you about the first philosopher that resonated with me from this course, and that would be Nell Noddings. So the humanist philosophy surrounds the ethics of care and the importance of creating nurturing environments for students, as well as developing strong student-teacher relationships in terms of education. When a teacher cares about the student will care about the teacher, and in turn will engage with and care about the content of the lesson. She talks about the concept of human nature, and to quote her, we human beings are in the world not mere spectators watching from outside it. She's a big advocate for the ethics of care, which can be directly linked to the Code of Ethics and APSTs. In regards to the code, I will focus on respect, justice, and care, even though all are important. So a teacher must demonstrate care, obviously, with this being a care-based philosophy, but there must be empathy and a commitment to encourage students' well-being and learning with a positive influence, right? Justice and respect also play a huge role, as students deserve the justice of being treated fairly, and a classroom following this philosophy should be built on mutual respect between teachers and students. It also requires policies and procedures, for example the Inclusive Education Policy, which states that every student has a right to fully participate in quality education no matter the ability, gender, or ethnicity of the student. And along the lines of that, Nell Noddings' philosophy of care also aligns with APST 4, which is to create and maintain a supportive and safe learning environment, something I believe is crucial to student engagement and understanding, as well as something I aim to create in my own classroom. Over to you, Blythe. Thanks, Blythe. Hi, everyone. Coming to you pre-recorded in another house. Crazy. So I'd love to tell you about Bell Hook. Her philosophies really spoke to me as a pre-service teacher. Her philosophy about teaching to transgress, which is a subtle book plug, it's very closely related to the humanist philosophy. But instead of focusing on care, Bell Hooks talks about the practice of freedom. Basically, every student should not only be taught to share information, but also be changed intellectually and spiritually. To quote her, to teach in a manner that respects and cares for the souls of our students. This philosophy is not only about the academic, but also teaching students about who they can become in the world. Not only that, but her philosophy is very multicultural and feminist, dealing with issues like racism and sexism, treating the classroom as a space of liberation and not just learning. This reflects the ideals of inclusivity and social justice in the classroom, as celebrating every student for who they are and to teach them according to what they need, justice. Hook's philosophy is a place of diversity and acknowledging students as people, not just as subjects who can be taught. This idea heavily relates to APST 1.1, which is to have an understanding of physical, social, and intellectual development and characteristics of students. Bell Hooks believed in the importance of students' self-esteem and their ability to live consciously, to reflect and act in ways that do not conform to the status quo, rather stay true to themselves. This improves their development and builds positive characteristics for students to become healthy adults, which is what we need more of if you ask me. Who's next? Hi! So, I'm the final Blythe, and I'm here to tell you about my own classroom and how I would uphold the philosophies of Nell Noddings and Bell Hooks in terms of pedagogy and environment. So with Nell Noddings, it is important to make your students feel safe and cared for, so I would introduce the difference between caring for and caring about, and guide them into the importance of caring for both themselves and those around them. I would encourage them to reflect on themselves in hopes that I can support them into becoming people who support others, not bring them down. So Bell Hooks, she helped me to understand that what I do in the classroom matters. I would take advantage of my students' natural curiosity and encourage them to not only learn about the curriculum, but learn about themselves too. My students will be free to express themselves and ask questions and even question answers. Every student will be celebrated for who they are and given the proper education they need. So my classroom will be open, honest, welcoming, and challenging for my students, and the priority would be social transformation, to choose authenticity over the traditional, for every child of any diversity. Thanks, guys.